Grand Rising, everyone. We're reading God's Love and Justice. Today is February 20th. On Thursday, Christ has overcome the world. Please take the time to share this with someone that you know. If everything occurred according to God's ideal will, there would never have been evil, but only the perfect bliss of love and harmony. Eventually, the universe will be restored to this perfect will, ideal will of God. But in the meantime, God is working out his will in a way that takes into account the free decisions of his creatures. Imagine a baking competition in which all participants are required to use some particular set of ingredients, but they can add any other ingredient they want in order to bake any kind of cake they want as well. In the end, whatever cake a baker ends up making will be determined, at least partially, but by some ingredients that the baker did not choose. Similarly, in this limited respect, because God has committed himself to respecting creaturely freedom of the kind necessarily for love, many of the ingredients that make up world history are not chosen by God, but are actually the opposite of what God desires. In this view, divine providence is not simply one-dimensional, as if God unilaterally controls everything that happens. Rather, this requires, at least, a two-dimensional view of God's providence. Some things in this world are caused by God, but other occurrences are the result of the free decisions of creatures, as are all evils. Many things happen that God does not want to happen. Read John 16:33. What hope, even amid tribulations, does the text offer us? Particularly in times of suffering or trial, people's faith may waver because they hold a mistaken belief that God will or should spare them from suffering and trials in this life. But Jesus tells us in a very different story, warning his followers that they will experience trials and tribulations in this world, but there is hope. Hope for Christ has overcome the world. The fact that we encounter suffering and trials does not mean that this is what God ideally wants for us. We must always keep in mind the big picture, the great controversy. However, we can be confident that while evil itself is not necessarily for good, God can bring good even out of evil events. And if we trust God, God can use even our sufferings to draw us closer to him and to motivate us to be compassionate and to care for others. This is Pastor Patrick Graham from the Glenridge Seventh-day Adventist Church. Thank you for listening and subscribe to get this every day. And today, God bless you real good.